Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Saturday, and welcome back to another post-game stream. And man, what a horrible game that was, just to say the least. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. It's first of all, it's a meaningless loss, which is okay considering. Well, it's meaningless in a way. It's meaningless, but we have to win against the Rams next week. Now that's a must-win game, or else division goes to Seattle. We're the 5th seed. I think the division was probably just going to come down to week 17 either way. I don't know when that was kind of decided, but obviously both teams have been phenomenal this year. So yeah, I'm not surprised that's coming down to week 17, considering that we lost today. So we just gotta make sure to win next week. I'll get more into that later. But for the game today, I think we lost by a millimeter. Let's just say the least. I forget what the score was. It was like 29-22 or something. Maybe I think so. Yeah, 29-22 on that. They got that meaningless touchdown at the end. Didn't really matter. But yeah, I mean I don't know. That was just not that I was never feeling it during the entire game. Like usually I'm like, this team is legit. Like that's usually how I feel. Like this team is. I didn't feel it today. Like I felt like the team just really underperformed. Was I surprised we lost? Yes. Should we have lost that game? Absolutely not. All right, no, sorry. I was not surprised that we lost, but we should have absolutely won that game. Let's just break it down position by position as we usually do. Starting at QB, I think Jimmy G played a pretty good game today. I don't think he did anything wrong. He made good passes, no picks. I mean, what more can you ask for him? Like, I think he had a phenomenal game. I think the rest of the offense did not perform well at all today. I know running backs, I'll just get into right now. They really underperformed today. I know Breida had a fumble, really costly fumble too. Moser had a touchdown, but after that he kind of just fell off. Also, why are you Kyle Shanahan? Why are you running Coleman and Breida so much when you have Moser as the hot hand? I mean, I don't understand what's going on. Like, you should, if someone has the hot hand, you should be running them you should be giving them more reps than the other person. I know Coleman, on paper he looks better. Just looking excuse me, sorry, I'm a bit sick. If you watch my pregame, I'm a bit sick. But I don't know, just looking at comparing their past, Coleman's obviously better, but Moser has had a phenomenal 2 games before this, and then he didn't get as many reps as he should have today, which is kind of disappointing for me. Just to see Breida, obviously 2 fumbles. One went out of bounds, the other one was really costly. They recovered it, so that was not good at all. Juszczyk had a touchdown. He had that the fumble recovery on the kickoff that almost was a touchdown. That wouldn't have mattered anyway because we got the touchdown the second next play. So yeah. Okay, let's move on to receivers. What the hell was that? Seriously, that was one of the worst performances. That was by far the worst performance in Seattle. That was I don't know what to say. I think there were. I don't want to count the number of drops. We'll do that when we get to fantasy. But I feel like there were so many drops. I feel like everyone on that receiving core. I think it was just Bourne, Sanders, and Debo. Debo was horrible today. Bourne was probably our best receiver today, but still had a few drops, and Sanders didn't do much either. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say. That was an awful game from them. That could honestly cost us the game. Their play on offense was not good. It was really just not good, not a good game all around. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. The one player that did play well. Hang on one second. All right. I'm going to say this one time only. I'm tired of y'all saying that going against this. I don't care. I'm putting it on backwards just so you to name. George Kittle is the best tight end in football, and if you disagree, then you don't watch football. It's just facts, bro. I don't know what people I don't know. I don't understand why on earth people just complain, like say Kelsey's better. It's like to respect him or something. I mean, some people say that Waller or it's just Darren Waller. People are saying that Darren Waller is better than George Kittle. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, he is the best tight end in football. He passed Mike Ditka for most yards in their first 3 seasons, so congrats to him. He balled out today. I mean, how many receptions did he have? Let me check. Let me check. Give me 2 seconds. Also, I would have said that a lot louder, but I'm a bit sick, so I'm not trying to lose my voice or anything. 13 receptions, 134 yards. What on earth? And did you see that pancake block? I mean, what on earth do you not get about the best tight end in football? Like, it's that simple. It's that simple. Like, he is like, I don't know. I'm going on this too much, but I mean, he was probably the only good player on offense today. But yeah, if I talk more about the game, he was definitely the only good player on offense. Unbelievable game, just catching, blocking. He was doing it all today, so I'm glad we got to see that. Offensive line, Joe Staley. What on earth was that? That was one of the worst performances I've seen him play, to be completely honest. That was he allowed some sacks kind of towards the first half. I know Vic Beasley had a huge sack on him when going against him, but Joe Staley did not perform well. Other than that, I think our offensive line did okay. I know this. I said that the Falcons D had to step up for my key to the game and like pressure their D line had to step up, and they did just that. So credit to them. And my key players for the Niners offense were Jimmy G, who I got into. Mostert was the other key player, but I think Shanahan should have given him more reps. To be completely honest, I think that's all we needed. Yeah, I mean, I feel like our offense could have done a lot more today. All right, now let's move on to defense. I think our D-line did a pretty good job today. We're obviously missing D Ford. Who's the other lineman? I know DJ Jones is out for the year. There's another lineman that's out, I feel like. Anyways, but I feel like we did pretty well. We had a few sacks. Bosa balled out today. I'll just say that right now. He had a phenomenal game. So yeah, that's all I really gotta say about the D-line. Pretty good job today. There's nothing bad, nothing great about them, but yeah, I mean, I think they held them in check fairly well today. I know their run game did not do much. It was mainly the passing game. Before I get to the passing game of Atlanta, that kind of concerns the secondary. Let's talk about the linebackers. I think they all did a pretty good job today. Warner almost had a pick if it weren't for DJ goddamn Reed. Greenlaw did pretty well. Aziz Al-Shaair did pretty well. I think same kind of the same thing as the D-line. Nothing too great about them. Nothing too bad about them. So yeah, and then the secondary, that was horrible. Like, that was hands down the worst performance since last year that I've seen the secondary. Like, to be completely honest, I've never been a believer in the secondary this year. I feel like I know Ward's been really stepping it up. I know everyone's really stepping it up this year, but I mean, that was just horrible. I know Witherspoon didn't get much action. They targeted Mosley a lot, and he did not live up to the challenge. I bet if Sherman was starting, I think we could have won, considering that Julio got the ball all the time. And then DJ Reed had some covers on Julio. He was horrible. Like, we should have got a pick. Warner should have picked that ball. I forgot what quarter it was, but DJ Reed comes in. Oh, I see the ball, and then he just blocks it. Like, I don't know. Like, that was an awful game. You gotta be more aware of that. One of my other key players for the Niners was Marcel Harris in the secondary. He did a pretty good job today. I was a bit concerned about him, but he did a phenomenal job. Same with Jimmy Ward. That stop at the end, it was the touchdown. Julio scored at the end, but still, that was a phenomenal stop by him to try to stop that. I think that was a millimeter earlier than the side of this game. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think the safeties is pretty well. Cornerbacks were not good. It kind of just shows you the importance of Sherman and K'Waun Williams on this team. Like, we need those players. That's why I think we're also going to probably draft someone in the secondary pretty high up in the draft, either first round. Maybe we trade our first round pick back. I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, but that's all I gotta say. And then Robbie Gould missed the extra point. I don't think that would have mattered too much, considering that Atlanta decided to kneel on the 2-point conversion, which was really weird. So yeah, but I think the special teams was fine today. Nothing too great, nothing too bad. Just like a normal game from Robbie Gould, basically. He misses them every once in a while, but it's all right. So yeah. All right. Now let's get into fantasy. Let me pull it up. Damn. Sorry, this is taking. Alrighty. All right. Jimmy G only had 12 points today, 12.6 points today. That's a bit surprising. Probably because his receivers were horrible. Yeah, let's look at his receivers. Debo had 4.2 points. What were his stats today? Excuse me. His stats today were 4.2 points. He had 3 targets, 1 reception. That's not, and 8 rushing yards, but that wasn't really that good. I remember that 1 reception. I think it was a pretty big one, but still, like, you got to perform better than that. Matt Breida, 0.7 points. Why on earth was he in the game? Like, I'm gonna rant about this too much, but he should have not been in the game for all that time. They should have just kept Mostert and kept him going. So yeah. Juszczyk, 7.7 points with that touchdown. He had a pretty good game today, I felt like, just blocking around, so I'm not surprised by that. Kittle, 19.9 points. Obviously not surprised by that. Who else? Tevin Coleman, only 4 points. Again, why you should be playing Mostert, not Tevin Coleman or Matt Breida. Like, when someone has the hot hand, you keep them in. It's that simple. Kendrick Bourne with 1.6 points today. Again, he was 1 for 2 only. Yeah, so they did not really target their receivers that much, now that I'm kind of realizing it. Sanders did not have a good game at all. 2 receptions, 5 targets. Like, they did not target their receivers. I mean, Kittle obviously 17 targets, 13 receptions. Obviously, that's obviously who you target. If someone's going to catch the ball, you got to target the person who's going to catch it. Robbie Gould had 12 points today, even though he missed that PAT. Niners D only had 4 points today. Should have been a bit more since that touchdown. And then who else? Mostert, 10.4 points today. That's exactly why you should be playing him. 14 rush attempts, 54 yards, 1 rush touchdown. Not the best game, but still, like, you should be playing the hot hand. Like, it's that simple. I don't know what Kyle Shanahan understands about that. I feel like he hasn't been doing a good job. And that is it for fantasy. So let's preview next game. It's a Saturday game, Week 16 against the Rams. And because we lost this game, it is a must-win game. Like, we have to win that game to get the division. I mean, if we don't win that game, we go into Seattle probably resting our starters. Or we could get the 6th seed if we lost. Damn, bro. Yeah, so we have to win next week. Like, I think it's that simple. If we want the division, if we want a good shot in the playoffs, then we have to win next week. We'd probably play Dallas or Philadelphia in the first round if we got the wild card, or we would play them no matter what. But still, like, I'd much rather have a first round bye than go travel somewhere. So yeah, but that's all I gotta say right now. So thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see you on Saturday. Go Niners.